everyone, welcome to The Path Less Traveled. My name is Corey, and this is Alexi. Today we are going to take you on board two of America's newest airlines, Breeze Airways and Avelo Airlines. While you may not see us in every video, we are the faces behind The Path Less Traveled. Breeze was founded by David Neilman. Neilman is no stranger to the aviation industry, having co-founded multiple airlines such as WestJet, Azul, and most notably JetBlue. Breeze had their inaugural flight on May 27, 2021 from Tampa to Charleston, and has since expanded their route network to mainly underserved destinations. As of September of 2022, Breeze operates three types of aircrafts: an E190, E195, and an Airbus A220. Breeze currently operates in 7 focus cities: Charleston, Hartford, New Orleans, Norfolk, Providence, Provo, and Tampa. With 22 aircraft, Breeze serves 28 destinations.
So Avelo was founded by Andrew Levy, who is also no stranger to the aviation industry. He's had leadership roles at both United and Allegiant. Avelo had their inaugural flight on April 28th of 2021 from Burbank to Santa Rosa, California. They aim at serving many underserved secondary markets on both the West Coast and East Coast. They have bases in Burbank, California, New Haven, Connecticut, and upcoming bases in Orlando and Fort Myers, Florida. Avelo operates a dozen aircraft consisting of Boeing 737-800s on the West Coast and 737-700s on the East Coast.
There's definitely, in my opinion, a clear winner, and I think we should start this comparison off by talking about the booking process, as that's the first part of any airline booking.
I would say Breeze was a very easy booking process.
I would agree.
Going on their website, it was really simple. You got to pick your fare class, so you had 3 different choices you can pick from. So both of these airlines, since they're low-cost carriers, you kind of got to go knowing forward that you're not going to be getting everything handed to you per se. But I have to give it to Breeze with the booking process because they were really upfront about what was included and what we would have had to maybe pay for extra.
And I think the cool thing about Breeze too is if you're flexible in flying, right on their website before you even search, it lists the fares out in the calendar, and you can see months in advance, so you can compare multiple months. And I think that's great for anybody who's looking for a vacation but also not looking to break the bank. Avelo has a similar feature with this. However, it's more compared to, I would say, Southwest feature, where you have kind of a thing across the top and it will tell you what fares are for like a week. So I would say definitely overall, Breeze is a lot more open and honest, I would feel, with their booking process, and a lot easier to book and confirm your flight.
Because with Avelo's website, there were a lot of like hidden fees, I thought. Like you had your base fare, which we're going to talk about the fare breakdown in a little bit, but you had your base fare, and then on top of that, everything else was added afterward, and I don't know, it just kind of felt like the fees weren't very upfront, so your fare can get expensive pretty quickly.
I would agree with that, and really the one issue I had with booking Breeze, and I would definitely say it was a hassle. We were going in to book our return flight home, and I noticed that our flight was canceled. However, my mom was also flying with us at the time, and her flight was still on, so I messaged Breeze via text message, as that's the only way to get in touch with them. And they told me that their systems basically canceled the flight. And when I went to rebook, because when the flight's canceled, it gave us Breeze points. The flights were now more expensive, so we were essentially going to be paying more. So I text messaged Breeze, and the conversation went on for...
I'd say what, it was like 8 hours, I think.
Probably more than 8 hours is what it felt like, of going back and forth about how they were charging me more, and they took responsibility for their systems canceling it. However, we paid $198 for the flight, and then we had 55 Breeze points still in our... So it was basically going back and forth with them for 8 hours about how their system canceled our flight, but they were charging us more. And then finally, after going back and forth with them for about 8 hours,
they just decided to say like, hey, out of an act of good business, we're just going to give you the original
the $50 back.
back. So with the little hiccup that happened at Breeze, we also decided to try out Avelo's call center just to kind of see how they may handle something. So we gave them a ring, maybe like a couple hours before our flight. We just wanted to know, we were gonna ask them a stupid question. So we asked them what terminal was our flight departing out of. There was maybe a little bit of a hold, and then we did the callback feature where they can call your number back. I think we only waited like a half an hour.
If that, it was a very short wait. So even with Breeze, they responded back to the text message in adequate time. So I'd say they were pretty even. It was just nice being able to talk to somebody on the phone, and I feel like the issue we described a little bit ago would have been rectified a lot sooner if it wasn't through text message. Next, we're going to talk about the seat, which I don't really think it's fair to do a comparison for the seats because we were sitting in Breeze's what they call first class product, whereas with Avelo we were sitting in their normal seats. What I can say is that Avelo's seat was pretty much just that of Southwest. It was an old Southwest plane, and they didn't really change much.
It definitely saw some better days.
Yeah,
that's for sure. You could just see like
the carpet was ripped up. There was gum on the carpet. It just felt like you were just flying a Southwest plane. Honestly, the seat wasn't that comfortable. For Breeze though, how would you describe Breeze's first class seat?
So Breeze, I have mixed feelings about their first class seat. It was comfortable, it had some really nice features like a footrest, there were power ports, which Avelo didn't have any power ports or anything like that. It had a really nice tray table, and it even had a cell phone / tablet holder if you wanted to watch a video on your iPad or your cell phone or something like that. However, you could tell that the seat's starting to see some wear and tear, and there was a lot of the carpet was dirty, and then there's a little cubby where you can store your tablets or other little small items within the seat, and there was goldfish sitting there it looked like a couple flights ago. Mm-hmm. But overall, Breeze's planes just felt a lot newer, albeit we were on the Airbus A220, which is a brand new airplane, but
overall I would say definitely the Avelo. You're gonna basically get a Southwest seat out of there, and Breeze is a newer product, and if you do sit in the first class seat, there is more space, and the aircraft just overall looks newer, but overall it's a hard comparison. I'm not gonna really rank one above the other because I wouldn't consider it a fair comparison.
Also, it's worth noting on Avelo that if you fly in their 800s, you will get their newer slimline seats as well. So again, it all kind of depends upon what aircraft you're gonna get on, because they have a lot of used airplanes right now that literally depends on what airplane you get for Avelo.
Next up for food, I would describe Breeze's food honestly, especially for being the first class product. You get a Kind bar and a little bottle of water. It wasn't anything spectacular. They advertise it as a light snack, so you really don't expect much, but
I had a bit more expectations though, because I've flown on other major carriers' first class products, and even when they just have a snack basket on a 45-minute flight, I was just kind of expecting that.
And even their onboard purchases, I would say, for Breeze was inadequate. It was basically everything you could buy from the newsstand right at the airport, whereas other airlines, especially the major three, they sell unique items. While they're not always unique and you can get simple stuff, not every single item on their menu you can get right at the newsstand, so it kind of entices you a little bit to buy on board.
With Avelo, they normally do a snack service. However, our flight was super turbulent. From takeoff and touchdown, our plane was bouncing all over the place. So because of that, the flight attendants pretty much stayed seated the entire duration of the flight. But I personally flown Avelo previously, and on that flight we just had it was not the chocolate chip cookie, but I'm trying to remember, but it was some sort of cookie along with choice of water and some sodas to choose from as well.
Overall, the food's nothing really to write home about, but at tickets at such a low fare, it's really to be expected. I would say both the crews were adequate. I wouldn't rank one above the other, honestly. There was good crew with each, and then crew that didn't really seem too excited to be there. My one comment I have to say on crew is Avelo was all uniformed. Breeze, there was a mix of people in t-shirts and polos, and it just wasn't
non-company. It was definitely shirts that weren't issued by the company.
Yeah, there was
and that's for everybody too, even the check-in staff, not just
Yeah,
attendants.
most of the people wearing t-shirts were Breeze t-shirts, but then there was other people wearing polos that you can buy at a store here. So I would say if we had to rank one above the other, I would rank Avelo just on the brand consistency and being able to. So now going to a cost breakdown. If I had to do cost breakdown, more for your dollar, hands down, it really depends on the flight and what the fares are, but we paid $99 all in for Breeze's nicest bundle, which included 2 checked bags, a carry-on, a light snack, a first class seat. You got 6% back in Breeze points. So overall, it just felt more value for the dollar, where as a Avelo, it was a $59 base fare. And then to check a bag, you could purchase it before the flight, it was $40. If you wanted a carry-on, it was $40. And then if you wanted to select your seat, it ranged from $11 to $59. So our $59 base fare ended up being well over $100. So overall, I think we got a better deal with Breeze, even though the fare was $99. We got everything included. There was no upfront costs to compare. At that $59, if you wanted to take the bags on that Breeze allows you to at their nicest bundle, it would cost you $80 for 2 checked bags plus $40 for a carry-on. So on your $59 base fare, you're already looking at $179 before seat selection. So that $59 fare can quickly turn into $200 plus.
So if you have to rank overall what I think the better airline is, I'm gonna have to go with Breeze.
I would agree with that 100%, even with the little mishap that we had at the beginning. Breeze overall was just, I felt very straightforward. Really what I look for when I travel is just to be straightforward and not have to worry about little nitty gritty and not having to go through 7 screens to choose what you want at the time of booking. So I would definitely agree Breeze overall would definitely be the better airline. Avelo's good if you're just looking for a cheap flight. You don't need to check a bag and don't really care about a seat selection. You can get a really great deal and really fly to somewhere where you want to go. So,
but at the end of the day, I think Breeze just, if you were to rate them for your best bang for your buck, I'd have to give it to Breeze.
Absolutely.
Hands down.